There are many challenges that families face. Well, I think the most, like impacting our lives, our everyday lives, is how to be, well, to fulfill its functions economically and also socially and culturally. Meaning, how to be good providers for the family so that the children can go to school, can have all good conditions for their development, and how to manage the work life with the family life. I think this is becoming more and more important because with economic crisis, we have problems with unemployment, and there's much more competition at work now. So parents spend long hours at work, and how to reconcile this family life with work life is becoming a big challenge today. Yes, so basically we think that to concentrate on family poverty is very important still in the world, because we still have poverty, despite the big progress that has been done at the global level. We still have countries and we'll have communities that are just very poor, and this is also in developed countries. So we think that if we focus on families, how we can have better results with fighting poverty overall, and we already have proof of that. So that's the first theme. The second theme is work-family balance. We think it's becoming more and more important to raise awareness about this issue and show ways and policies that can help with ameliorating the situation in this area. And the third theme that we have is intergenerational relations and solidarity between generations, because we think that this is more and more important because of the trends that we have. For example, the aging of populations, youth unemployment. So these are the three issues that we think we should focus our efforts how to help families in these areas. Civil society has a very important role. So I would say there are several. Number one, well, civil society can help families themselves. So like Hacer Familia or IFFD, they are already working with families. So this is through educational system. For example, I know there are schools that have very integrated approach to education, that civil society can help, establish such schools or have an active role in them and be in touch with parents in that. Then there are courses like parental education courses that civil society can, AFFD is supporting. There are different ways of helping in the community with how to help families that are poor, how to get resources for them, how to help them, let's say, get training so that they can have a job. So civil society can do a lot of programs at the local level. But I think also civil society has a growing and important role of lobbying the governments for the issues they care about. So I think that they represent society, right? They represent groups of society, they represent certain interests in the society. So showing the united front, and I would say uniting with other NGOs who care about the issues, similar issues, and presenting the proposals to the governments, I think it's very important, lobbying. Well, for example, in France, I mean, there's quite a high fertility rate, and also very high participation of women in labor force. So this can be reconciled. This is a question of, I think, choices, giving women choices and giving them many choices. So let's say in France there are many types of care for children. There are very small enterprises, they are bigger. I mean, and there is also flexibility in work. For example, women can work part-time, and some can work from home. So I think these possibilities are, you know, the choices, if they exist, then women are more comfortable taking decisions, having more children, if they have these conditions. And actually, what really works is this flexibility, work, family, so that women can have a choice, continuing career or being at home, you know, for a certain amount of time. And also, what's important is to make sure that if a woman would like to stay at home for some time, that she can go back to work. I think this is more and more important in all regions of the world. So intergenerational solidarity, what we have in mind is that all generations feel united, that they really depend on each other. Because in reality, we are not independent in this world. I mean, we always depend on our parents, or we depend on our maybe a spouse, or our children are dependent on us, and then our grandchildren may be dependent again, if the parents are at work, on us again. So first to realize that we need to also have this notion of reciprocity, because I think if the parents were really taking care of educating their children properly, also showing respect for their own parents, so in this case for the grandparents of their children, I mean the children also have a better idea how to deal with their own parents when they are old. And there are initiatives. I think that there is a very good one that they have in Australia and Hungary, for example, is that the grandparents, or I think it's either parents or grandparents, get subsidies if they stay with their children or grandchildren, whatever the case may be, for 2 years, and they get subsidies. So they can choose the family member. They could be the grandfather, for example, and he will get the subsidies. So instead of paying let's say for kindergarten, it's the payment is given to the member of the family, and this works very well because the grandparents take care of the grandchildren. There's exchange of cultural values, and so and it's also appreciation of the older persons. Yes, I think that, well, the academic institutions have a very important role to play in all this, because we have a lot of studies, statistics about different trends in families and how it affects the children, how it affects society, community, and all that. So I think academic institutions, by, let's say, doing surveys with families and at different economic level, they can show examples, what's working, what's not working. Also, it's very important what academic institutions do is the evaluation of some policies, how they work. And we are talking about general policies, let's say socioeconomic policies, even, let's say, pure economic policies, how they affect families. I think it's very, very important, because often governments don't realize what the effects on the families could be. For example, they may have good intentions, but maybe the result is not so good. So we need these constant evaluations, how to improve those policies. And also, the academic institutions that work for education, I think there has to be more understanding that it's not only children that are educated, because there has to be more contact with parents, and how parents can help, because we have a lot of evidence. If parents are educated themselves, if they understand that they have to even just show interest in children's homework, in children's academic achievement, then the children achieve better, and we have evidence on that. So just to show parents what they can do, I think it also empowers parents. So educational courses for parents are very, very important.